Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh Hewitt. Senator Eric Schmidt represents the great state of Missouri. I'm a little reluctant to talk to you, Senator, because, we might be being recorded by the FBI. I've never really had a suspected something or other on the air before, and I'm just a little reluctant since you became a target in the Arctic frost investigation. So just to the FBI, if you're listening, I got nothing to do with it.
China's probably been listening in for a long time, Hugh, so, who knows?
That's a given. That's a given. Senator, I want a select committee to go deep into this. I want our best lawyers on it, and I want subpoena power, and I think it's an outrage. What's the discussion or the temperature level inside the caucus about Arctic frost?
Yeah, I mean, it's hot and heavy. We met the Judiciary Committee along with Senator Johnson, Ron Johnson, who's on that select committee for permanent investigations. We kind of met to get briefed on the new revelations that came out last week about just sort of the extent of the dragnet, the 400 plus people and individuals caught up, including the Republican AG Association when I was chairman, Charlie Kirk's organization. So beyond just the 8 senators, this was cast far and wide by Jack Smith. And so, yes, I think that we should do that. I do think we want to have people who are skilled in asking questions and getting to the bottom of the truth. One caveat, I do think, two, let me say that. Two, not only should we do the Arctic frost, I think we should be looking at the coordination that took place between these different state prosecutors. So you have in Atlanta, the number 2 person meeting with the White House counsel. Alvin Bragg gets the number 3 person from DOJ to come to his office, all around the same time Jack Smith begins his witch hunt. So there had to have been coordination. We'll find out. But also, we want to make sure we get as much information first before we go into that, because that grand jury testimony is sealed, and we want to get as much as we can. Final point is all of this is because whistleblowers have come forward, Hugh. Like, if Trump doesn't win, all of this stuff is still buried and nobody would know anything about it. It's really disturbing on a bunch of levels.
You know, interesting about the grand jury, I don't know if you've read The Nixon Conspiracy by Jeff Shepard, Senator, but it went back to how Judge Sirica allowed the Watergate grand jury to get their information to the House Judiciary Committee that voted the impeachment articles against Richard Nixon. It broke every rule on the book, and they did it secretly, but it's finally been revealed. It's called the roadmap. And I don't know that you can do that. You might have to start over. But I want you to get started because do you think the American people have any idea yet? We've been a shutdown. We got elections. The Vice President Cheney died today. It's hard to keep the attention span of the American people, but 400 targets, that's a witch hunt.
It is. I said this at the press conference last week. I just think in this 24-hour news cycle, this stuff can get lost. It's hard to overstate how big this was. I mean, this does make Watergate seem like some sort of third-rate burglary, and it's 100 times worse. But that's why we have to have the focus for literally weeks, if not months-long hearings on this to make sure the American people are given all of the relevant information, because the truth is the psychology behind this was pathological. 3 days after Trump announces, they said, okay, this guy's he's trying to run again. We're going to go get him. And it's just part and parcel of this. They felt so justified in it, and they were willing to bulldoze any norm, any law, any rule to get their man. This kind of show me the man, I'll show you the crime. But it was more than just the man, as it turns out. It was against a movement. And anybody that had a red jersey on wasn't safe from this abuse either.
Well, this is why I want a select committee, because select committees can break through the media noise if they're funny and they're good. That's why I just want lawyers, and I want new staff and subpoena power so you can, they'll run 24/7 Jack Smith in front of you. They'll run 24/7 Comey and Brennan. But if we screw up the questioning, by we, I mean Republicans, I'm a Republican, you'll lose the audience immediately, right? That's what you expect.
Yeah, no, I agree. And it has to be done the right way, because this is too important to not get right. Because, again, you just can't ever let this happen again. And one of the things I have to correct the sort of legacy media here in Washington that's around every corner as you walk from the Russell office building to the Capitol. They talk about the president going after his political enemies. And I try to make pretty clear, look, there's a big difference between the weaponization that we saw over the last 4 years under the Biden administration, which was unprecedented, and then holding those people accountable. That is not the same thing, right? If you wanted to get the weaponization, President Trump would have done that in his first term against Hillary Clinton, right?
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. So now you have to make sure that the people that went out and did this, who weaponized our Justice Department in ways we've never seen before, are held accountable.
I got another suggestion for you, Senator. The FBI Bureau building is going to come down. The Hoover building's got to come down. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
They're thinking about moving the Bureau over to the Reagan building, which makes no sense at all. It's not secure. It wasn't built to be a SCIF, et cetera. Isn't it a good time to send the FBI to West Virginia? Because they have just become too politicized. I mean, you might have the director and the deputy director at Main Justice over at my old fifth floor area, but do you want to get the Bureau out of the Beltway? I think it's bad for the Bureau.
Yeah, no, it's interesting you brought this up because in the confirmation process, Pam Bondi, and I know Pam very well from our state AG days, and then Kash Patel, I know, and one of the conversations I had with both of them in their confirmation hearings and process beforehand was, especially Kash, who said he wants to get a lot of agents out of D.C. and into the interior of the United States. And so St. Louis now, my hometown, is getting the largest infusion of permanent FBI agents per capita anywhere in the country.
Well, that's good.
That is a model. You need to get these people out of D.C. and get people who can actually take on violent crime in our urban areas. And that's the appropriate role. Imagine all the time wasted on the Hunter Biden laptop pre-bunking and all these witch hunts. If you could have had that kind of manpower in those hours dedicated to going after drug trafficking and violent criminals, we'd be a much different country right now. And I think that's what we got to get back to.
And we got to get Bureau people out of the Beltway. It infects them with an ambition which is overarching. Send them to West Virginia, send them to Ohio, send them somewhere, but get them out of the Beltway, not to the Reagan building. It's the nicest building in Pennsylvania Avenue. I've bent your ear enough, Senator Schmidt. I lobby all the senators when they come on for my pet projects.
I love it.
Yeah, can we get an extra draft choice for the Browns? Can you legislate that too? Compensatory.
Yeah, talk to your Ohio senators about that. All right, I'm not getting in the middle of that.
Well, they don't have enough seniority. Bernie does not have any seniority. Good to see you, Senator Eric Schmidt. We need guys with juice to get the Browns stood up. Thank you so much, Senator Eric Schmidt. Stay tuned, America. I'll be right back.
The Hugh Hewitt Show is now available on TV.